Monday to Sunday. The Lord is the author of your life. Our life is truly found in Him. We are fixated on this image, but it is God's purpose that prevails. Have you consulted the Lord first? Never, ever forsake us. The Lord is our GPS. And then what? So what? We need to have that relationship with God, because God is our solution, and that will never change. There's no age to surrender all to God. Why can't you be young and live for God? Hello guys, welcome to my channel. It's your girl Qaida, and this is Qaida and Kat. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining back in, and if you're new here, welcome. I hope you are going to stay. We are going to talk about being lost. We're going to talk about being lost, right? We are people that are lost in general. There are a lot of people that are seeking validation in other places. We go to these different places to find ourselves, but our life is truly found in Him, and that's the main thing that I wanted to speak about today. We live in a generation where we have a lot going on. We are trying to figure ourselves out. Some of us don't know our purpose, and in us trying to find that, we eventually get lost because we are trying to find ourselves in places where we should not be finding ourselves. We're trying to find our purposes in places where we will not find our purposes. And today's message is that our life is found in Him. Before we were in our mother's womb, the Lord knew us. In Jeremiah, He says that, "For I know the plans I have for you." It's plans to prosper, for us to have a good life, and the Lord is our author. The Lord is the author of your life. We need to be people that understand that. We need to be people that live with that mindset, because we will try every single day, Monday to Sunday, every single year. We will be like, okay, this year I want to do this, I'm going to try out this. Every single year we're trying these new things where we think we are going to find ourselves, but we are truly found in Him. There is no other place that we can find ourselves more than our Creator. We were created by our Creator. We are His creation, and He knows what is best for us. He knows how our lives are supposed to be. He knows how our lives are supposed to go. And also, we are people that have a lot of plans for our lives. I looked at it like this. When you're young, you're like, okay, I'm gonna grow up, I'm gonna start with A, I'm gonna start with B, and then I'm gonna go to C. We are fixated on this image that what we want our lives to be like. But the book of Proverbs 19 verse 21, but I'm gonna write it down. But it tells us that there are many plans in a man's heart, but it is God's purpose that prevails. So meaning that I may have so much I want to achieve. I'm gonna be like, when I turn this age, I want to have this, I want to have that, I want to be able to do this at this certain age. But is it really God's plan for my life? In the beginning of this year, I remember there was something that I wrote. I'm gonna try to put a screenshot of it if I do remember. But there was something that I wrote about, I'm entering 2024 with no other plan but God's plan for my life. I started this year having literally no plan. I was like, I'm not gonna write out what I want to. I'm not gonna write down A, B, because I just truly wanted to walk in God's purpose. I truly wanted to establish and to see the plans that the Lord has for me, because sometimes we are too focused on the plans that we have for ourselves. We are not able to see the plan that the Lord has for us. We start off a year and being like, there's this plan, I want to do this by the end of June. But have you consulted the Lord first? Have you consulted your Creator and asked Him, Lord, is this the plan that you have for my life? Is this what you want me to spend time on? Because we spend our times in a lot of things, and we're actually wasting our times because sometimes those are not the plans that the Lord has for us. We need to be people that consult our Creator and be like, Father, I want to start this. I want to start this, and it's really in my heart that I would love to start it, but please show me whether it's in your plans for my life or not. We need to be people that are led by God. We need to be people that are led by God, because He literally knows every single thing. He knows how everything in our lives is going to play out. He knows what you would be doing today. He knows how your year would already look like. So while we are trying to plan our year, we are actually removing our eyes from the plan that the Lord has for us, because we're being too focused on our plan. So message is that let's try to see God's plan for our lives. That is how I started my year. I started my year being like, I'm starting this year and I have no plan. And God has been guarding. I have been seeing God in my life. Now imagine if we start each and every single year of our lives with that mindset of, Bao, I surrender all to you. Everything I give to you. I'm withholding nothing. If you want to take this from me, Father, I surrender it. It is so that your plan for my life may prosper. It is so that I may fulfill the purpose that you have brought me in this earth for, because we will never truly know the reason why the Lord has brought us into this world unless we try to surrender everything to Him. Unless we're actually like, Father, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm being led by you, And He will never leave you. He will never leave you. He will never forsake you. The Lord is with you at all times. He will never leave us. He will never forsake us, because before He formed us in our mother's wombs, He knew us. He knew that Kwaita is going to be like this when she's turning this age. Kwaita is going to be doing this when she is like this. But then, not all the time, the thoughts that the Lord has for us are going to prosper. Why? Because we choose to follow our own ways, And God has great plans for us. But it's us that choose to not walk in the footsteps that the Lord has set before us. The Lord is like, here, I'm here. Just come to me. You don't have to worry about other things. You don't have to stress about other things. We stress about a lot, okay? We tend to stress about a lot. We worry about a lot. Like, we have midlife crises where we're like, oh, why? We get frustrated. We're like, Lord, what have you brought me in this earth for? And we want to know. It's like we want to know now. But the question is, if you knew what the Lord has brought you in this earth for, would you actually do it? If the Lord told you that, give up everything and do this plan, would you actually do it? You know what I mean? So it's just, we need to stop being people. We need to stop being people that are so like, Lord, we blame the Lord for everything. We're like, Lord, you brought us into this earth. You knew that this is how my life would be like, but why have you done this to me? We complain, but we should start being people that are like, you know what, Lord, I don't know what's happening in my life right now, but I'm trusting you. I am facing so much afflictions. I'm facing so much challenges, but I trust the plan that you have for my life. We need to be those people. We need to be people that are not faced by afflictions. We need to be people that don't have worry, because the Lord tells us that, so do not worry, for I am with you. He is with us at all times. He would never ever forsake us, because the Lord created you. He took out His time to create you. So why would the Lord forsake you? Like, why would the Lord do that to you? So we need to be those people that try our best to walk in God's plan. I had this metaphor, I think. Is it called metaphor? But then I had this GPS metaphor, and I was like to myself, the Lord is our GPS, right? Hear me out. The Lord is our GPS. Let's say I'm a driver, right? I'm driving my car. I don't know where I'm going. I'm going to this certain location. And because I do not know where I am going, I do not know directions to the place that I'm going to make use of the GPS. Something that is going to tell me this is how many kilometers you're going to drive, etc., etc. So I was like, as a driver, I will never say this GPS is wrong. As much as I do not know the location that I'm going to, I will never be like, this GPS is sending me the wrong way. And that is the same way with God. That is because the GPS knows the location that you are going to, and you don't know it. It's the same with us. We do not know where the Lord wants to send us, but we have to be listening attentively to him in order to be able to get to that destination. When the GPS, and mind you, the GPS, it's not up to us to decide that I want to get to this place in 20 minutes. It's not up to decide. Let's say I'm driving from Cape Town to East London. It's not up to me to decide that I want to get there in 1 hour, but I will listen to what the GPS tells me. I will not be like, 5 hours is too long for me. I can't be behind the wheel for 5 hours driving. And then what? Like, so what? Like, how are you going to get to the destination when you are not agreeing with what the GPS is saying? So we need to have that relationship with God, because God is our GPS. He knows the destination that we will be at the end of the day. He knows the place that we should be at. God has the perfect timing. God's timing is the perfect timing. We just need to be people that are patient with God. We need to be people that are patient, because we are patient with the GPS when it's speaking in the car. We need to be people that listen attentively, because that's what we do to the GPS. When the GPS tells us turn left on your right, da 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 da, we are listening, and we won't be like, I think I'm being misled. Never. Why? Because we're trusting the GPS, and secondly, it's because we do not know the place that we're going to, but we know that the GPS knows the destination that we're going to. So the Lord is our GPS. The Lord, let God be the GPS of your life. Allow God to be God in your life. Allow him to lead your life. Don't allow other situations to take over you. Don't allow other people to mislead you. Sometimes you just have to silence the noise. Silence the noise around you. Silence the people that are talking around you, and focus on God. Hear what the Lord has to say for you. If I feel like also in our generation, it's so big that we consult a lot of people. We're like, Chami, I'm facing this. I don't know how to do this. How about you consult God first? How about we become people that start with God, because he has the answer for everything. God is our solution, and that will never change. God is the solution to everything, and that is something that I wish so many of us actually knew, that with him we can do all things. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. That's what the Bible tells us. So being led by him is going to lead us to our destination. Having him as our guide to being like, do this, do that, don't do that, don't go there. That is going to send us to the destination that we want to go at. We are lost. And the reason for us of being lost is because we consult so many things. We're trying to find ourselves in so many things. But how about we be found in God? How about we try to find ourselves in God? Because he is our creator. He knows how his creation is supposed to be. When the Lord created earth, he was like, let there be light. He was speaking. He created light. He was speaking. He was like, let there be light. And there was light. So when the Lord speaks to his creation follows what the Lord is saying. So we also need to be like that as people. When our creator is speaking, when God even sends you to do things that you would have never imagined that you would be able to do. He sends you to do things in your mind where you're like, Lord, are you really like telling me to do this? But yes, because he sees so much more than you see yourself as. Is that proper English? But he sees the bigger picture of your life. Yes, God sees the bigger picture of your life. We box ourselves when we try to meet to the standards of the people of the world. We are boxing ourselves. We are lowering our standards, because once you are a child of God, the standard is up there. Okay, the bar is high. Okay, it's high. So we need to be people that also walk in those footsteps, that I am the son and the daughter of the Most High God. This is how I will be walking. This is how I will be living my life. You know, we need to live our life as holy people. Our lives should be pleasing to God, you know, and as the youth too, you know, we are never too young to live fully for God. And I wish so many of us knew that there's no age to surrender all to God. We can't say when I'm 30 years old, when I have everything that I want, when I've done all the partying, when I've done all the whatevers, then I'll be like, Lord, I give my life to you. No, live your life in your youth, okay, while you still can. Who said we are going to see the day tomorrow? Who said I am going to see the sun shine tomorrow? Who said I'm going to get up off my bed and breathe? Who said I'm going to have breath in my lungs tomorrow? You know, and who's to say that you can give your life to Christ tomorrow? What, like, if you know about Christ now, why aren't we surrendering our lives to Christ now? I feel like we know so much to live the way that we do. We know so much to act the way that we act. We can't be people that have so much knowledge, that know so much and continue living our lives the way that we live our lives. You know, we can't be people that continuously conform to the pattern of this world when we know that the Bible is telling us, do not conform to the pattern of this world, you know. And I feel like that's a pattern that is happening. We are settling to the standards of the world. We have so much that we know. We have so much things that we know that the Lord has spoken to us, but we continue to live our lives as the world does. And why is that? Why can't we be people that are just living for God? You know, why can't you be young and live for God? Why can't your friends know that you have fully surrendered your life to Christ? Why? Is it because I'm ashamed or what? I'm afraid that they'll find out that I'll pray about everything. Why are we ashamed of that? The Bible tells us that if we are ashamed of God, He will be ashamed of us. That's one thing that we need to know. So we need to be people that stand up for the gospel. We need to be people that stand up for God. Let's pick up our socks. Let's pull up our socks. Not pick up. Let's pull up our socks and live for Christ, because that is truly where life is found. That, you know, receiving salvation is the best thing one can do for themselves, because it's not an easy journey, but it's where you get the pieces of the puzzles, so that you can see, wow, okay, I was short with that puzzle, but now the Lord is giving me this puzzle, so that you can see the bigger picture of your life. You know, that's truly how it is. Also, another thing that I wanted to come to is the fact that we have to remain in God. We have to remain in Christ in order for us to be found in Him. In order for us to know the plans that He has for us, we have to remain in Him. You know, the whole entire John chapter 15, it speaks about the vine, the branches, and the gardener. So Jesus is the vine, we are the branches as people, and God is the gardener. John chapter 15 verse 5, I'm just going to read it. It says, I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you are nothing. Apart from God, we don't have life, and that is what it's telling us. So for as long as we are running away from the Lord, we are not going to be having life. And we need to be people that are still. We need to remain still and know that God is God. In the book of Exodus 14:14, but it speaks about saying that I will fight for you, be still. So yes, we are going to have all these challenges, we are going to face all these things in life, but we need to be still and know that God is God. There is nothing that is too big for Him. There is nothing that is too small for Him. He will continue being God. Like, He will never change. He will never change. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And that is the beautiful God we serve. And I wish we knew that. Actually, some of us do know that, but we are living like we don't know that. And why is that? Ooh, so many that's in one sentence. But we know the truth, so why aren't we walking according to the truth? We know the word, why aren't we walking according to the word? Because the word is given to us so that we may live according to it. It's given to us so that we may live up to it. We may follow the commandments given. We may follow the laws that we have been given, and not just read it, listen to it. We deceive ourselves when we do that. Just reading the word and not doing what it says. Like, what's the point of me reading the word if I'm not going to be doing what the word is saying? You get what I'm saying? But I think that should be it for today's video. I hope you learned something. I hope you learned something. That is literally the main reason. It's for us to grow together. It's for us to grow together in Christ. I feel like if many of us get to know these things, okay, some of us know these things, but it's the lack of people around us that are able to stand up for these things. So we need people that are going to avail themselves, that are going to, so you can be like, okay, this person is living their lives for God in their youth. I can also do it. That is the main reason for it's. That's why it's so important to have fellowship and have people with the same mind around you, so that you may be able to when the other one is falling, you on the other side, your friend will be able to pick you up. And you are never on your walk with Christ alone. You are never in any single thing you're doing. If you think you don't have like-minded friends around you, you have God. You have God that is able to guide you. If you think that you don't have people that are going to think the same way that you think to God. If you feel like you can't say certain things to your friends and just talk to your friends, vent to your friends, God is your friend. You have a friend in Jesus. Know that, okay? But I think that is where we're going to end off this video. Yes, I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, thank you so much for joining. Please do leave a like, comment, and a subscribe, and share to your friends so that we may all grow together. Until next time, bye guys.